What is up, everybody? Welcome to this week's episode of Betting the Booth podcast. Thank you all so much for the support to this point. Very much appreciate it. I am not. I do not have any bad reasons why I'm putting it out late this week. Everything is okay. Just had a few things I did today that just made me want to record this later. And anyways, it kind of worked out because the first ever college football playoff rankings came out today, and so I am now able to cover the college football playoff rankings, being that I'm recording it late enough where the rankings have already come out, and I could give you the rankings where I could also give you a look at what the with the new bracket format, how the bracket is looking at the moment. So that's gonna be a nice plus I can give. Is not only, but I can even show you what the bracket looks like at the moment, so you can see how the new format is looking right now with the rankings. And I'm excited to be able to present that to you. And I just found that would be better overall way to show it than to just record it beforehand without knowing the rankings. But anyways, we're going to start with Immaculate Grid. One thing I did want to show before I'm doing Immaculate Grid. So I found this new baseball game called Walk Off, where each team every day you get 4 new tabs and you try to figure out what player connects to what. Now, I kind of want to maybe do this for episodes, but the thing is, it's like every day it's one for every 3 teams. So instead of it being I do it, but I'm not going to do it for this week's episode because I've already done it today for all the teams. But instead of me doing it for every team, every episode, which will take me probably an hour at least, I want to put out an offer is that I want to offer you guys, I want you to tell me which team you want me to do for a specific episode. And all the teams are available. The options might vary by team, but they're all going to be the same relative options, all for each teams. And I want you guys to let me know which team you want me to do for which specific episode. So if you want the first one to be Cubs, I'll do the Cubs next time. If you want to be White Sox, I'll do the White Sox. If you want to be Braves, I'll do Braves. If you want me to do Diamondbacks, I'll do Diamondbacks. Just let me know. It's been honestly a fun game to play, and I'd love to start playing it. I just don't want to do every single team every single time. So that's how I want to make it work. And hopefully you guys can give me some ideas of what teams to do for specific episodes. So let's get into Immaculate Grid, which I have not done today. So the grid spots on top is Texas Rangers, Milwaukee Brewers, and All-Star. And going down is Atlanta Braves, Detroit Tigers, and played third base minimum of 1 game. Rangers and Braves, there are a whole bunch of answers that there's one big answer that comes to mind. Mark Teixeira comes to mind. Julio Franco comes to mind. Who else fits Braves, Rangers? Atlanta, Texas. I don't think LaRoche does. Gagne does not. Wagner does not. There's no one from the Rangers or from Braves big 3 that fits. Will Smith fits. You know what? I'm gonna go Julio Franco. 4% I will take that. Braves and Brewers. I could go Will Smith reliever. That's a very easy, quick option. But I'm actually going to go an interesting option I don't think will be so likely, but could also be likely. Gary Sheffield. 7% I will take that. Braves All-Star. I know Teixeira had solid years with the Braves. Any chance that he would have made an all-star team there? I have my doubts, but honestly, I'm willing to check. No. He played only like 2 half seasons with them, and neither of those years was he all-star. His all-star years were either with Texas or New York. Okay, so that would have been a really bad guess. Braves all-star. Where do I want to go with for Braves all-star? Wonder if you maybe. I feel like you might have all-star game with Braves. Yeah, I'm gonna go someone who I doubt is gonna be a high answer that sneakily made an all-star game with the Braves. I'm gonna go Billy Wagner. 0.1%, I will take that. Tigers all-star, I'm pretty sure he made an all-star game. I just want to make sure of this before I write him down. Yeah. I'm gonna go with the Jew that played for them that's known for have been playing for them. That was a Jew, Hank Greenberg. 2%, I will take that. Played third base minimum of 1 game, and that was an all-star. I want to check something to make sure he played third base at some point, because he definitely played third base, I think, in the Negro Leagues. And I'm not so sure. Yes, I think this should work. I think it won't be likely if it does work. Hank Aaron played in the Negro Leagues, and I think he played enough of it in MLB that could work. It does. 0.06%. I will take that. Okay. Tigers and Rangers. I could go Ian Kinsler. I could go Prince Fielder. Is there anyone on the 23 Rangers that fits Tigers? No. Uh, and I've realized someone for Brewers, Tigers. Oh no, never mind. Uh, let's use someone play for both Brewers and Tigers. No. Rangers, Tigers. No. Cruz, no. Napoli, no. Moreland, no. Young, no. Anders, no. Beltray, no. Random guess, but fudge it. Let's see if somehow. No. Uh, Tigers, Rangers. I don't think so. No. Um, did you maybe? I just got someone for Tigers Brewers who was part of the 82 World Series team. Ben Ogilvy. 6%, I will take that. Yeah. Uh, Tigers Rangers. This is bugging me right now. So dumb. Might be a higher answer, but I'm so dumb. Yeah, 26%. It is what it is. I'm just gonna honestly stick with that and be okay with that. Third base Rangers and third base Brewers. It's not like you play ever session. Oh, Ryan Braun as a rookie was a third baseman. 9%, I will take that. And third base for Rangers, I'm just gonna throw someone who's probably gonna be a high answer, but I'm honestly just gonna stick with it. Michael Young, 10%, I will take that. Rary score was 65. Top answers for 22% for Rangers Braves is Mark Teixeira, 34% for Braves Brewers was Henry Aaron. Makes sense. Braves All-Star highest answer at 10% was Chipper Jones. Tigers Rangers highest answer was who I went with at 26%, Max Scherzer. Tigers Brewers highest at 42% is Prince Fielder. Highest at 16% for Tigers All-Star is Miguel Cabrera. Highest at Rangers minimum third base, one game played at third base is at 20%, Adrian Beltre. Highest percentage of 15% for Brewers playing third base minimum of one game is Paul Molitor, and third base minimum of one game. All-star highest answer at 6% is Mike Schmidt. And that's today's Immaculate Grid. So let's dive into this week's episode. And of course, do let me know about walk-off game, what team you'd want me to do next episode, a part of the games I like to play before episodes. I am also trying to still work on a guest to do a MLB year in review like I did for NFL a few years ago with a guest. I'm just waiting for him to give me word that he's good with the idea, and then trying to schedule when we will do it. But I'm in the process of trying to make that happen. So we've got World Series to recap. Game 3, games 4 and 5. We've got NFL games and we've got college football. And since the college football rankings came out tonight, let's start off with college football. So a few games go over from this weekend. Ohio State eked out a win against Penn State 20-13 because Penn State basically committed a Russell Wilson late in this game, and this was just hilarious of an interception. First and goal at the 3-yard line. Running back had just been running over all over Ohio State, though he had not as good of stat line as I thought he did. But really turns out it was tight end even. Which, I don't know. But either way, instead of running it, they throw it from the 3 to the end zone, and it magically got picked off, committing a Russell Wilson, a big part of why Ohio State ended up being Penn State 20-13. But Penn State just also made a whole bunch of other mistakes, but that was a big thing, and I was just laughing watching the highlights of that. I was just like, and it's just a statement more and more of how Penn State will always win these smaller games when it comes to Michigan or Ohio State, they will never beat the big teams. It's just hilarious at this point. And there's nothing more to say about it, really. And we had some upsets this week. South Carolina upset number 10, Texas A&M 44-20. Number 11, both 11 seeds, Iowa State falling to Texas Tech 23-22, and Clemson falling to Louisville 33-21. Number 13, Indiana 147-10 over Michigan State, being 9-0 for the first time ever in their college football history of their program. K-State lost to Houston 24-19. They were number 17. Number 18, Pitt fell to number 20, SMU 48-25. And number 24, Illinois lost to Minnesota 25-17. College football playoff rankings, which honestly I'm just going to share them with you as I have this tab open for me. If you are watching this and you see a video, it will be on the left. So, first ever rankings came out this week, and I'm going to switch over to the tab to show the bracket. So, number 1 is Oregon, number 2 is Ohio State, number 3 is Georgia, number 4 is Miami, number 5 is Texas, number 6 is Penn State, number 7 is Tennessee, number 8 is Indiana, number 9 is BYU, number 10 Notre Dame, number 11 Alabama, number 12 Boise State, number 13 SMU, number 14 Texas A&M, number 15, LSU. Number 16, Ole Miss. Number 17, Iowa State. Number 18, Pitt. Number 19, K-State. Number 20, Colorado. Number 21, Washington State. Number 22, Louisville. Number 23, Clemson. Number 24, Missouri. And number 25 is Army. That is the college football playoff rankings for the first one of this season. Now, in terms of how it works out with the new bracket this year, ignore the play button, but this is basically how the bracket works out. You see the rankings on the side here. So the top 4 division leaders of the Power 5 conferences and Power 4 and Power 4 conferences, and then other teams in it. So top teams with a bye in the order: Oregon, Georgia, Miami, BYU, just because they are the leaders of the respective conferences. The matchups would be Oregon, if the playoffs are today, Oregon would face the winner of 8 seed Tennessee against 9 seed Indiana. By the way, the first round games will be at the higher seed college's home stadium, not at a bowl stadium, but the rest will be in bowl stadiums. Number 2, Georgia will face the winner of number 7 seed Penn State versus number 10 seed Notre Dame. Number 3, Miami would face the winner of number 6 Texas against number 11 Alabama. SEC matchup there. And BYU would face the winner of number 5 Ohio State against number 12 Boise State. So that is how the bracket looks at the moment. It'll obviously change over the weeks, given we've got a whole lot of weeks still left before the college football playoffs even begin to be thought about as to who's going to be where and all that kind of stuff. Big games to look out for this week. There are 2 big games to look out for this week. Number 3, Georgia visiting Ole Miss. Number 16, Ole Miss, 3:30 on ABC/ESPN+. And then it's Alabama, LSU, number 11, Alabama, number 15, LSU, 7:30 on ABC/ESPN+. That is college football week recap part of this episode. Let's dive into NFL, and then we'll get back to World Series to close out the episode. So, sorry about that. NFL Week 9 recap. Jets beat the Texans 21-13. Aaron Rodgers is the only NFL QB in the last 30 years to have his team get shut out in the first half, but then throw a touchdown pass on every one of his team's drives in the second half, excluding end-of-game drives, kneeling to run out the clock. Bills beat the Dolphins 30-27 on a Tyler Bass game-winning 61-yard field goal. Ravens beat the Broncos 41-10. Derrick Henry scored his 10th rushing touchdown this season in this game, which is his 7th consecutive season doing so, tied with Adrian Peterson from 2007-2013 for second longest streak in NFL history, only behind LaDainian Tomlinson has in 9 from 2001 to 2009. Lions beat the Packers 24-14 for their first 3-game win streak in Lambeau Field since 1986 to 1991. Vikings beat the Colts 21-13. Sam Darnold is only NFL QB in Super Bowl era to complete 80% of his throws with 3+ touchdown passes in a game, while also having 3+ turnovers and taking 3+ sacks. Chiefs beat the Buccaneers 30-24 in overtime. Last 8 games, including postseason, which Chiefs trailed at any point in the second half. All games they won. No other NFL team in NFL history has done so, regular season or postseason. That's NFL Weekly. That's the recap for Week 9. This week in predictions, not so great. I went 9-6, not great, but not terrible. Overall, I am 89-49. Standings update. In the AFC East, the Bills in first place, 7-2, followed by the 3-6 Jets, followed by the 2-6 Dolphins, followed by the 2-7 Patriots. In the AFC North, the Steelers in first place, 6-2, followed by the 6-3 Ravens, followed by the 4-5 Bengals, followed by the 2-7 Browns. In the AFC South, the Texans in first place, 6-3, followed by the 4-5 Colts, followed by the 2-6 Titans, followed by the 2-7 Jaguars. In the AFC West, the Chiefs in first place at 8-0, followed by the 5-3 Broncos, followed by the 2-5-4 Chargers, followed by the 2-7 Raiders. In the NFC East, the Commanders in first place at 7-2, followed by the 6-2 Eagles, followed by the 3-5 Cowboys, followed by the 2-7 Giants. In the NFC North, the Lions first place at 7-1, followed by the 6-2 Vikings, followed by the 6-3 Packers, followed by the 4-4 Bears. In the NFC South, the Falcons were first place at 6-3, followed by the 4-5 Buccaneers, followed by the 2-7 Panthers and Saints. And in the NFC West, the Cardinals were first place 5-4, followed by the 4-4 Rams and 49ers, followed by the 4-5 Seahawks. That is the standings update. By the way, I did mention a bit ago in the past that was maybe going to be at Ohio State Northwestern Wrigley Field. And that's sadly not going to work out, as that game is completely on Shabbos, so I will not be going to that game, sadly. Also, I wanted to mention something crazy, and it has gone down a little bit now, but still crazy. So, when I was still thinking about going to that game, I was thinking at that time, I was like, wait, I wonder if the Bears are home that week. Well, they're home against the Packers, so I was like, okay, so how much are tickets going for? The cheapest ticket at the time is going down a little bit, but not by much. The cheapest ticket at the time on TickPick, where you don't get charged fees, again, do not get charged fees, was over $400. The cheapest ticket, not a ticket in the 100 level, not in the suite level, the cheapest ticket on the upper deck for $400+. I'm like, I'm sorry, what? Even my dad, when I was telling him this, was like, yeah, that is crazy ridiculous. And he works in the sports ticket business. That's when I knew that it's truly insane. Now it's gone down a bit to like $385, but it's still crazy. And we're talking about middle of November, Packers Bears in Soldier Field. Yeah, I get it's one of the oldest, not the oldest rivalry in football, but $400 is not excusable. I'm sorry, but that's ridiculous. And on top of that, they're going to be moving out of Soldier Field, more than likely, seems like, in the next few years. So just like crazy that you're charging that much for a Packers Bears game in a stadium that you're not going to be playing soon. I don't know, just crazy ridiculous, and it just blew my mind. Anyways, let's get to NFL the NFL Week 10 predictions. Thursday night football, Bengals at Ravens 8-15. I have the Ravens. Sunday kicks off at 9:30 a.m. with the Germany game of this year at Allianz Stadium in Munich between the Giants and the Panthers. On NFL Network, I have the Giants. Patriots and Bears, 1 p.m. on Fox, I have the Bears. Bills at Colts, 1 p.m. on CBS, I have the Bills. Broncos at Chiefs, 1 p.m. on CBS, I have the Chiefs. Falcons at Saints, 1 p.m. on Fox, I have the Falcons. 49ers at Buccaneers, 1 p.m. on Fox, I have the 49ers. Steelers at Commanders, 1 p.m. on CBS, I have the Commanders. Vikings at Jags, 1 p.m. on Fox, I have the Vikings. Titans at Chargers, 4:05 on Fox, I have the Chargers. Eagles at Cowboys, 4:25 on CBS, I have the Eagles. Jets at Cardinals, 4:25 on CBS, I have the Jets. Lions at Texans, 8:20 for Sunday Night Football, I have the Lions. And Monday Night Football is Dolphins at Rams. Sorry about that. At 8:15, I have the Rams. That's the NFL part of this week's recap. So now let's dive into the World Series, which has officially ended in 5 games, as the Dodgers are your World Series champions, winning 4-1, losing Game 4, oddly enough, 11-4, but they won Game 5, 7-6. Let's talk about both games, because I've got a lot of notes to go over from both these games. So from Game 4, where the Yankees won 11-4, it's the first game in the last 2 years since 2022 World Series Game 6, where the teams that scored first didn't win in a game. Ben Kasparius is the second pitcher all time to make his first career start, regular season or postseason, in the World Series, joining Dylan Lee for the Braves on October 30th, 2021 versus the Astros Game 4. Freddie Freeman's two-run homer in the first is his marks 6 straight games of World Series games with a homer, which that was the last one he got of the series. He did not homer the next day, which is MLB postseason record and first homer in first 4 games of a World Series. Also, the homer marks Freeman's 6th World Series home run in 10 career World Series games, tying with George Springer and behind Chase Utley's 7 for most homers in first 10 World Series games of career. Also, his longest homer streak in Dodgers postseason history, passing 1985 Bill Madlock. Also, his 9 RBIs is tied for most RBI in first 4 games of a World Series since 1920, tied with 1993 Tony Fernandez, 1960 Bobby Richardson, and 1928 Lou Gehrig. He ended up with 12 in the end, which also made history, and we'll get to that in a moment. Also, the RBI breaks the tie with 1958 Gil Hodges and 1952 Duke Snider for the most RBIs in a World Series in Dodgers history since 1920. Anthony Volpe's go-ahead Grand Slam homer in the third is the 6th this postseason, which is the most Grand Slam homers in a single postseason, passing 2021 and 1998. Also marks the 4th World Series with multiple Grand Slam homers, joining 1987 Kent Hrbek and Don Gladden, both of the Twins, in 1964, 1964 Ken Boyer, Joe Pepitone of the Cardinals and Yankees respectively, and 1956 Yogi Berra and Bill Skowron, both of the Yankees. This year and 1964 are only both of the Yankees. This year and 1964 are only times each team hit one Grand Slam. Will Smith's solo home run in the 5th is his 8th career postseason homer, which is 4th most career postseason home runs as a catcher, behind Jason Varitek and Jorge Posada's 11, Johnny Bench, Javi Lopez, and Travis d'Arnaud's 10, and Yogi Berra's 9. Oswald's solo home run in the 6th makes it the 5th World Series game where, with multiple catchers homer in the same World Series game, joining 2019 Game 2 Kurt Suzuki, Martin Maldonado of the Nationals and Astros, respectively. 1977 World Series Game 5, Steve Yeager of the Dodgers and Thurman Munson of the Yankees. 1975 Game 3, Steve Carlton of the Red Sox and Johnny Bench of the Reds, and 1948 Game 5, Jim Hegan of the Indians/Guardians, and Bill Salkield of the Boston Braves. Also makes Wells the 5th rookie catcher with a World Series homer, joining 2010 Buster Posey, 2011 Rod Barajas, 1934 Bill Delancey, 1913 Wally Shang. Anthony Volpe 8th inning double makes him the second player with multiple extra base hits and 4+ RBIs facing World Series elimination in New York Yankees history. Joining 1956 Game 7 Yogi Berra. 11 runs by Yankees is their most in a World Series game since 12 in 1978 Game 5. Is also second most behind in a game facing elimination in Yankees postseason history, behind 1960 World Series Game 6 12, and ahead of 2011 ALDS Game 4 10. Yankees is the first team to score 10+ runs and strike out less than 5 times in a World Series game since 2008. Philly Game 4 of the 2008 World Series for the Phillies. Last time Yankees did so was Game 6 of the 1960 World Series. Yankees are the first team to force Game 5, went down 3-0 in a World Series since 1970 Red Sox versus the Orioles. There had been 9 sweeps in between that stretch. With 2 stolen bases, Volpe is the second player with multiple extra bases and multiple stolen bases in a World Series game for the second time most stolen bases in a World Series game, high 1907 Game 1, 7 in 12 innings, and tied with 1992 Game 2 Braves, 1987 Game 5 Cardinals, and 1907 Game 2 Chicago Cubs, and 1906 Game 2 Chicago Cubs, and 1905 Game 3 New York/San Francisco Giants. Volpe and Austin Wells' homers make them the 5th Yankees teammates age 25 or younger to homer in the same World Series game, joining 1957 Game 3 Tony Kubek/Mickey Mantle, 1953 Game 5 Mantle / Billy Martin / Bill McDougald. 1953 Game 2, Mantle, Martin, Mantle and Martin. And 1939 Game 3, Joe DiMaggio, Bill and Charlie Keller. Sorry about that. Here we go. Freeman's 10 RBIs in 4 games of this World Series. His most RBIs in the first 4 games of a World Series since 1920, jumping 1993 Tony Fernandez, 1960 Bill Abbey Richardson, and 1928 Lou Gehrig's 9. Anthony Volpe's Grand Slam homer at 23 years and 184 days old, makes him the 4th youngest player to hit a Grand Slam in the World Series, older than 1953 Game 3 Mickey Mantle, 21 years 349 days, 2016 Game 6 Addison Russell, 22 years 283 days, 1951 Game 5 Gil McDougald, 23 years, 143 days. And Anthony Volpe is also the second player with 4 Pulitzer RBI and multiple stolen bases in a postseason game since 1920, joining 2008 NLDS Game 2 Shane Victorino. Anthony Volpe is the first Yankee with a Grand Slam and multiple stolen bases in a game, regular season or postseason, since Mickey Mantle on August 19, 1962, and second in most in postseason history to do so since 2008 LDS Game 2. Also, Freddie Freeman's 10 RBIs is third most RBI in a World Series since 1920, behind 1960 Bobby Richardson 12 and Mickey Mantle 11. Of the 49 runs scored the entire series, 30 came via homer. That's the 61.2% of regulars of the 49 runs scored in this entire series. That 30 came via homer. That's 61.2% of the runs scored via homer, which would be the highest of any World Series, easily surpassing the previous high of 57.4 from 2017, 39 of 68 runs. Anthony Volpe's go-ahead Grand Slam homer is the first Yankees World Series Grand Slam homer since Tino Martinez's 1998 Game 1. The Yankees won in that game and went on to win the World Series. And then from Game 5, where the Dodgers won 7-6, Freddie Freeman won World Series MVP, becoming the 12th player to win MVP in a regular season and World Series MVP, joining Johnny Bench, Roberto Clemente, Ollie Fingers, Bob Gibson, Reggie Jackson, Sandy Koufax, Roberto Clemente, Brooks and Frank Robinson, Pete Rose, Mike Schmidt, and Willie Stargell. Juan Soto has reached base safely in 25 straight postseason games since 2022, which is tied for third longest on base streak in postseason history, tied with 2017-19 Jose Altuve, 2012-14 Pablo Sandoval, and 1966-71 Boog Powell, and behind 2011-2013 Miguel Cabrera 31, and 2007-2009 Chase Utley 27. The Yankees are the first team in World Series history to hit multiple homers in the first inning of a game when facing elimination. Aaron Judge Stewart home run and Jazz Chisholm solo home run back-to-back. The back-to-back is the 5th back-to-back homers in Yankees postseason history and first since 1977 Game 5 Thurman Munson, Reggie Jackson. Also joining 1964 Game 6 Mickey Mantle and Roger Maris, and 1932 Game 3, and 1928 Game 4 Babe Ruth Lou Gehrig. First time there had been multiple sets of back-to-back homers in a single World Series. Giancarlo Stanton's solo home run in the third is his 7th homer of this postseason, which is most in a postseason in New York Yankees postseason history. Stanton is now at 18 postseason homers with the Yankees in his career, and Judge is at 16. Stanton now is tied for third most, and Judge is 4th most homers in postseason in Yankees postseason history. The rest of the list: Bernie Williams 22, Derek Jeter 20, Mickey Mantle 18, and Babe Ruth 15. This game also marks 51st time Grand Slam. Giancarlo Stanton and Aaron Judge have both homered in the same game, postseason or regular season, which is the third most for a Yankees duo, behind Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig 75, and Mickey Mantle, Yogi Berra 56. Which is third most for a Yankees duo, behind Oh boy, sorry. Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, 75, and Mickey Mantle, Yogi Berra, 56. Which is third most for a Yankees duo behind Babe Ruth, Lou Gehrig, 75, and head of Babe Ruth, Bob Measle, 47, and Mickey Mantle, Roger Maris, 43. Yankees' 3 home runs are tied for most by a team in the first 3 innings of a World Series game, tied with 2024 Game 2 Dodgers, 2022 Game 3 Phillies, 2002 Game 2 San Francisco Giants, and 1977 Game 2 New York Yankees. Grand Slam go. Giancarlo Stanton's 18 postseason homers is 2 more than any other player in World Series history, hitting back-to-back homers, joining 1986 Game 7 Red Sox, Dwight Evans, Rich Gedman, 1967 Game 6 Reggie Smith, Rico Petrocelli, and 1964 Game 6 Roger Maris and Mickey Mantle. Freddie Freeman's 2-run single in the 5th makes him have 12 RBIs this World Series, which is tied for most in a World Series since 1920, tied with 1960 Bobby Richardson. Dodgers' 5-run 5th and 2-run 8th from down 5-0 his largest comeback in a World Series clinching game, with passing 1925 Game 7 Pittsburgh Pirates down 4. Walker Buehler getting the save makes him the 8th starting pitcher to get a win and save in the same postseason since 1920, joining 2022 NLCS Ranger Suarez for Philly, 2016 LDS Clean Kershaw for the Dodgers, 2014 World Series Madison Bumgarner for the San Francisco Giants, who had 2 wins, 1999 LDS Kevin Millwood for the Braves, 1998 NLCS Oral Hershiser for the Guardians, 1974 World Series Catfish Hunter. Oh. In 1972 World Series, Jack Billingham with the Reds. This is the 5th year straight season Will Smith has won the World Series catcher for the Dodgers this year, joining 2021-23 Will Smith as left-handed reliever with the Braves, Astros, and Rangers, and 2020 Will Smith catcher for the Dodgers. This is Dodgers' 8th World Series title, tying them with the San Francisco Giants for 5th most all-time, behind Yankees 27, Cardinals 11, and Red Sox Athletics 9. Dodgers used 8 pitchers in this game, is most pitchers used in a World Series clinching game, or any 9-inning World Series win. Freddie Freeman's 12 RBIs is also most for a Dodger in a postseason series, passing 2024 NLCS Tommy Edman and 2020 NLCS Corey Seager's 11. That's it for this week's episode of the podcast. Thank you so much for watching and listening. If you're new and you do leave a like and subscribe, and the notification bell so notify when I go live and post a new video. If you're new in audio, follow the podcast, leave a review, and notification bell so notify when I post on there. Thank you so much for watching and listening. I will see you next week's episode 147. Bye.